Welcome back to the White Noise Podcast, our fourth episode. I'm Rin,
I'm Alan.
and yeah, let's jump right into it. First things first, Supergirl came out this past week.
You watched it like how many times?
I've seen it 3 times.
I only saw it once.
You saw it once. We saw it once together. I saw it 2 times before that. I saw it early, the day before its like official release. And then I also saw it twice on that same day.
Why did you watch it twice on the same day?
Because I wanted to see it in 3D and I had time in the morning.
Was it better in 3D or not?
There were some scenes that were better, some that weren't, but we'll get into a bit more of that, I guess. After the review.
We gotta.
Yeah, so our scores out of 10, 3, 2, 1, 8, 8.5.
I would honestly rate it 8.
Yeah,
I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
okay,
I went in. No, I didn't know like a lot about the movie. I didn't see like a lot of scenes or anything. But I had seen like people reviewing it and whatnot, and being like, "Oh, it's so
like,
shitty."
Yeah.
But a lot of the people that were saying it was shitty were just mad that it wasn't like super actiony and explosiony, which it still was.
Yeah, it did still have really good action.
Like, so based off of those, I was kind of going into it being like, you know, maybe this isn't gonna be the best movie, but no, honesty, I really liked it.
Yeah. My first viewing of it, that early screening, I did give it a 10 out of 10. It did drop.
I don't know if it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, so it did drop. I would still say it is my favorite movie of the year so far still. It's definitely not the best movie of the year, because I think Project Hail Mary overall still is a better movie. But I think
favorite?
Just because of, like, I love Supergirl, I love what they're doing with DC now, and so, like, I'm super excited for all of that.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy it a lot more. But I think overall, again, still Project Hail Mary is the better movie. It is a 10 out of 10 for me. It's still my second favorite movie of the year.
There's a lot of 10 out of 10s this year. I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, I'd give it like an 8, maybe an 8.5. Again, I liked all the action in it. I think Millie as Supergirl was fucking phenomenal.
She definitely did play her role like perfectly in my opinion.
Exactly. And to fucking everyone that's out there that's fucking hating on her personally for her looks, you're fucking crazy.
I don't know why people are so like expecting this person to be like a Barbie. It's like
and
you gotta be realistic.
Like, not to be fucking weird or anything, she's pretty.
I mean, yeah.
And like people are like calling, like, there's the fucking pictures, like, I don't want to get into it, but like there's fucking shit like making fun of her for the way she looks, and it's like, what, like,
you got a fire ass movie, like y'all are hating to be hating.
Yeah. And then Jason Momoa as Lobo, incredible.
It was really weird seeing him. I was not I didn't know who was gonna.
You didn't know,
but like then he popped up and I was like, Jason Momoa. Like, what the heck? For your rating though, what kind of like, I guess, dropped it for you from a 10?
The only thing I would say is like rewatchability, like immediate rewatchability. I would say it doesn't have that. With Superman, I also watched that 3 different times in theaters because I wanted to see it in 3D and everything.
Yeah.
So I saw it. I think I literally did pretty much the exact same thing, where I saw it at an early screening with Aspen.
Yeah.
Last year. And then I went and I watched it again the day after, normally. And then I watched it in 3D, like a couple days after that.
I see.
And I think that one has good immediate rewatchability. Something like, like the first Avengers, which we aren't reviewing this episode because we haven't watched it yet. But next episode.
Well, we'll have both of them. We'll have Age of Ultron and Avengers.
Yeah. But like the Avengers has immediate rewatchability for me.
100%.
Fantastic Four, I would say, has immediate rewatchability.
Depends on the one.
the new one.
Yeah, the first steps. Yeah, I mean, even some of like the other ones that aren't the best, I would still say that.
Yeah, like some movies that are like like they have good rewatchability. This one, I would say, if I went back to it like before Man of Tomorrow, I would definitely still enjoy it a lot. A lot of the jokes just didn't hit as well. On second and third watch. Also, again, like I would say. So I hadn't read all of the comic that the movie's based off of.
Yeah.
Because it is, like, technically the first superhero movie, first comic book movie that's solely, like, based on the source material of a single comic run.
Yeah.
Which is kind of insane. But I do have the, like, book thing for it. I've started reading it. I've read a little bit of it. And I did also end up seeing stuff online about more of, like, what is actually in the comic and, like, the things that they changed and stuff. And with some of the changes, it made it drop a little bit because I'm like, oh, well, this would have been cool, but, like, I kind of understand why they didn't do this, things like this. Like, before we get into spoilers and stuff, well, because we'll do, like, some spoiler things. Right now we're doing non-spoiler. But yeah, I mean, I still thought overall the music was pretty good. There is the one song, and I don't think it's a bad version of the song.
I think it was just used in the wrong
I think it was
place.
in the wrong scene. Because I think there could have been, like, even a different version of the song that they use, like the original or, like, another cover that's closer to the original, would have made more sense and worked better for that scene, I think.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a misplaced scene.
I think that's what really kind of dropped my rating for the movie was a lot of it was that scene. That scene just kind of like it kind of took me out of it because the song just did not really match up with everything that was going on.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from a lot of people. But I did also see apparently like the whole reason why they use that song is because in that moment it's supposed to be Ruthie like seeing Supergirl doing all this stuff. So that's like what's playing for her, which makes it make a little bit more sense.
I guess.
But I still feel like a more punk rocky type of song would have done better.
And it could have still even been like, you know, kind of like, I don't know how to explain it.
Like a softer rendition of a song.
Yeah, it didn't have to be like full heavy metal or anything.
Yeah.
It could have still been a cover of another song, but I think something that was more high paced would have been better.
Yeah, like honestly, I would have really liked to see what it would have looked like with the like "Call Me," the Blondie song that they've used in every fucking piece of advertising.
Yeah.
If they had used it in that scene, I feel like I would have been happy.
Yeah, I can see that one.
But yeah. Well, I guess real quick, getting into spoilers of stuff. So if you haven't seen the movie, still definitely go watch it. It is still a good movie. And it definitely, has kept me excited for the DCU moving forward and everything. But hopping into spoilers and stuff, with the comics, the whole premise is that it starts off kind of at the end of the story.
Yeah.
And it's Ruthie narrating the entire thing. And she, like, narrates Supergirl as, like, this, like, god, like, figure.
Yeah.
And in the comic, Crypto isn't actually poisoned and dying. He gets poisoned, but the doctor's able to, like, heal him. And the reason Supergirl goes with Ruthie is to prevent her from killing Krem.
Which, I mean, she still does kind of do.
Yeah, which that, I like the way they did that in this movie.
It still kind of is, like, that underlying kind of thing.
But also, I didn't know this, because the way the comic starts is it has Ruthie saying, oh yeah, Supergirl killed Krem. She doesn't actually kill Krem in the comics. She sends him to the mirror dimension thingy.
Oh, okay.
I forget what it's called in DC. But like he's basically held in like this prison dimension. Like if you've ever seen the Lego Batman movie,
I know what you're talking about. I just can't remember what it's
I can't remember the name of it.
I think that
But he gets kept there, and then at the end of the comic, Supergirl brings him out, and it's Ruthie is like all old and stuff, and then instead of killing him there still, she just like smacks him on the head with a cane, which like I think is like a cool moment.
I think,
but
I
do understand
did do better at the end of the movie compared to the comic, where I think her doing that definitely kind of sealed it off way better than I think that would have.
Yeah, I also think it just would have been too confusing for like mainstream audiences.
Other than Lego Batman, I don't even remember a whole lot.
Yeah.
Of that being even in movies. And I will say, this is, I think, my first DC movie watch since The Flash. Because
You didn't watch Superman?
I did not watch Superman.
And you were fucking shitting on the flying?
I've seen clips. It doesn't look good.
Okay, we're watching Superman.
But I will say, like, since The Flash, it kind of had like a negative look at DC just because of that. I hated that movie.
Yeah.
But this definitely like really kind of emphasized
Like brought
that
you back.
DC is not like
Yeah, that it's not the same anymore.
Yeah. It's definitely better.
Yeah, but so also, in the comics, Krem is literally just like a normal dude. There's
not a
none of that
brigand.
like subplot of like him being a brigand or the thing with the like wives or the
brides,
brides,
yeah.
not the wives. And like the child trafficking shit.
That
Like
shit was
that's
weird.
not in the comics. I think they kind of just did that to make him like even more of a villain.
It does kind of set him up for better like ulterior motive.
Yeah, because in the comic, he's like widely known as a very bland, not interesting villain. And I think they did do a good job at making him a bit more interesting with the extra added, like, you know, all the pins and stuff that he's got in his face.
That
like
was
his
really cool.
design. I think they made him look better because he kind of literally just looks like a normal dude. He's got like a big, like, ginger, like, beard and
Yeah.
everything. Like, and like he just looks like a normal guy.
So
So I
is-
think
Is
giving
his
him
main feat just killing Ruthie's like family?
yeah, and
That's it?
with them as well, they're like rock farmers in the comics. They're not like her dad isn't a swordsmith, and the sword that I think it's only him that gets killed in the comics, not her whole family. And when he gets killed, it's Krem's sword. And that's why Ruthie carries the sword with her, is she's like, I'm gonna kill Krem with his own sword because he left it.
Which would make sense, yeah. But
And
I like the movie version better.
I think it makes you care about Ruthie more, and also makes Krem like a worse villain.
Yeah.
But I honestly wouldn't have minded if they kind of like did the same thing where like they're just like rock farmers and then Krem goes and kills them, and that's Ruthie's goal.
Even with like I feel like even with like them being swordsmiths and everything, even though they are like in the movie they're more important technically, I feel like Ruthie was kind of like undermined, like underused almost.
Yeah.
Like she felt more of like a nuisance than anything, which I mean she kind of is supposed to, but at the same time
Yeah.
it's like the entire thing is her trying to hunt down Krem. But then it is also kind of like split with Supergirl's crypto thing. But it's like, I don't know, for that being the whole like beginning part of the movie, kind of just faded out, kind of. It at least to me.
Yeah. But what I will also say, one of my favorite, or maybe my favorite fight scene of this movie was the bus scene where they're teleporting around and everything. I thought that was really cool.
I did like the soundtrack playing during that as well.
Yeah. But seeing Krypton on the screen was really cool. Because I don't think they show Krypton really like at all in Man of Steel.
I just feel like other than the comics, it's kind of just like not really shown.
Yeah, and I like seeing Argo City. That was really cool.
I just think that them showing all of that, the visuals on it were cool.
Yeah.
It kind of like, because I'm not much of a comic reader. I would if I like had time, but I think just being able to see that and seeing the story go along with it, kind of getting some background and seeing different characters, it did feel cool.
Yeah. I also, so in the comics, right? Jor-El, who's the dad for Superman, he's the good guy who basically is what Zor-El, like Kara's dad, is in this movie. But they've kind of like swapped their roles in the DCU, which I think makes it interesting. It makes like Superman's character more interesting.
Yeah.
Because he's sent to Earth
To be
like
destroyed.
to literally like that whole scene of like Zor-El and like I'm blanking on Kara's mom, her name, but them like literally just saying, "Oh, that's your brother's son, the one who's supposed to be the destroyer of worlds," which is like an insane thing.
And then like he doesn't. That's not even like what he is at all.
Yeah, because he didn't see the rest of the message. I
Yeah.
think even if he did, he probably wouldn't have ended up like that.
Being
either.
raised how he was, you know.
Yeah, which is such an important part to his character, and I think they did that great. And so like I'm not mad that it's different in the comics, but I also feel like that's going to be kind of explained a little bit in Man of Tomorrow, because it's almost confirmed that Brainiac's the villain.
Okay.
And Brainiac is a big part in certain iterations of comics for Krypton and like Krypton's fall, because Brainiac is the computer that the Kryptonians like make, and like Brainiac finds out Krypton's dying and doesn't tell them in certain iterations of the comics, and that's why Krypton like blows up and stuff, is because they just don't know, and so they don't fix it. So I feel like that could be a really interesting like plot to go with.
Yeah.
Also, I think all of the Superman scenes in Supergirl were really good.
They felt very awkward, which I mean is good. I thought that was good because, like they said, they're cousins, and they obviously like Kara obviously not the biggest fan of Superman. Like she's fine with him, but not like.
Well, no, they're cousins, but they've never met.
Yeah.
Also, to do with that too, one more thing from the comics, Kara is technically older than Clark is.
Oh.
She's the only difference is, so like when Krypton was dying and everything, she was still alive.
Yeah.
So she watched Krypton fall, she watched Argo City go up and everything. But then with Clark, he was like a baby, and then he got sent to Earth, and he grew up on Earth. She got stuck in like some weird time something or other, so she stayed like 17. Because that's what the age I think is 17 is when she goes and leaves Argo City and everything to go to Earth.
Yeah.
She gets like stuck in like this weird time thingy, so she doesn't like age at all, while Superman continues to grow up. So when she gets to Earth, she's still like 17 and he's like 20 something. So like she's still technically older, but also younger. So they did change that in the comics as well, or from the comics to the movie as well, which I was a little bit surprised at because I thought they were going to keep it like that.
Yeah.
And personally, I would have appreciated it more if they did it that way. But I also understand it from like a general audience standpoint,
I think
how confusing that would be.
Yeah, I think if I saw that in theaters, I wouldn't have been able to understand it.
Yeah.
But at that point, like you can look it up and stuff, which
yeah,
I think
that's true.
At that point, you know.
But not everyone's going to do that. So I feel like that would just kind of be too confusing.
If you're not willing to, I'm going to go on a little bit of a spiel. If you're not willing to look up what you're so like confused about, and instead like go and like shit on the producers of the movie and the movie itself, rather than looking up the information for yourself, I think that that's just kind of like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
At least take the time to understand what you're like confused about. And like, yeah, producers and stuff could make it easier on people sometimes, but then again, you're going into a superhero movie where there's been comics for decades, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
well, granted, this comic is like 5 years old. I think it was 2021 that it came out.
Still, it's still
but
out
still,
there.
Yeah.
So I think that
like there is still explanations.
My deal on it.
Yeah. But now that we've gotten through the review of that, I did want to quickly touch. What are your thoughts for the DCU moving forward after Supergirl? Because next up, and near the end of this year, we've got Clayface. We've also got Lanterns, the TV show coming out.
Okay.
Then next year we have Man of Tomorrow. I think Creature Commando Season 2 comes out next year as well. And there's like a bunch of other animated stuff coming out, a bunch of TV shows, stuff like that. So like, what are your thoughts for DC?
Well, once I do watch Superman, I think that I'll be able to like decide whether I'm excited or not for Man of Tomorrow, because I'm assuming that's a Superman movie.
I kind of, but also kind of not. It's like gonna be essentially what like an Avengers movie was for the MCU for the DCU.
Oh, okay.
Because it's technically like a sequel to Superman, but it's not a Superman movie because it's not just focused on him.
Okay. Well, then I mean, I if Superman is good, like you say, which I can believe it is, I think at that point, yeah, I'll be excited for it. Um, Creature Commandos, I mean, you've also said it's good. I've had multiple people say this is good. So I think that, I mean, if I ever did take the time to watch it, yeah, I would be excited for it.
Well, I mean, just in general for stuff that will be coming out in the DCU, like not just Man of Tomorrow, not just this like Green Lantern show and Clayface, but like past that, once we get to Wonder Woman and Batman and everything.
Based off of how Supergirl went, I would say that honestly, it seems like it's taking a much better turn than like it was. I think that it's much more worthwhile to like look into than it was for me at least after this movie. Seeing the growth, like it makes it much more like I would want to see it more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my take on it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for Man of Tomorrow. With it should, if Brainiac is the villain, like the rumors are, that would be the first time that Brainiac is on the big screen. Because they've tried to do that with other Superman movies, and then the movies like got canceled.
Oh,
which is kind of like insane to think. So it would be really cool to see Brainiac for the first time on the big screen. We're getting Lex with his war suit, the like big green armor and stuff.
Okay.
If you've ever seen that.
Maybe once.
Which is also the first time that it's ever going to be in a movie, because I think in Smallville they had it, and maybe in like the CW shows they had Lex with the armor.
Yeah.
But it's never been on a movie screen, which is really cool that they'll be doing that. There's a lot of set photos that have been like released and leaked and everything, and it looks like it's going to be crazy. And there's like a bunch of stuff with Superman. He's like lifting stuff. The suit that Lex has, the armor, that is all practical.
Genuinely?
Yes. Like it's a giant. Here, let me see if I can pull it up for you.
That's great.
It's like actually so cool.
I mean, I'm much more of a fan of practical effects rather than visuals. Like, don't get me wrong, visuals, if they're done right, yeah, it's good. But like comparing it to, let's say, like the MCU's nanosuits, I would much rather a practical suit be used compared to just seeing, a mesh.
Yeah, I don't know if it's letting me pull up any of the like behind the scenes photos that are like, oh, here we go. I think this is a real photo. Yes. Like, wow. Dude, that's insane.
I'm not gonna lie. That looks awesome, but he also looks like Buzz Lightyear.
Well, but it's supposed to be like a giant suit that he uses to beat Superman.
Yeah, I know that is how it looks. Like in general, it's just like the green and purple automatically made me think about Buzz.
But no, like I mean, it's so cool that they're doing that. I'm super excited for that. I'm super excited for Clayface, which I do have a couple of things to talk about with that later.
Yeah.
Because there was early screenings and stuff and new information, whatnot. So we'll talk about that later. But do you want to move into our first other topic?
I guess so. Do you want to go with yours? Or do you want me to go with mine?
But I just said you.
Oh, I thought you just meant in general.
No, yeah, you do a topic, I'll do the next one, and then we'll do agree, disagree.
Okay, so this one's kind of like a week old now. I was telling you about it the other day. Didn't tell you too much because I didn't know if you would see it or not. I'm assuming you have now because it's gotten a lot more popular on media.
Mm-hmm.
But with GTA 6 releasing, right? People have started buying copies online to resell.
Yep. And it's all digital.
That is the most stupid thing I've ever heard.
I saw a video, I don't know if it was real, where someone that was like, "Oh yeah, let me buy 500 copies." They spent like $50,000.
That guy I saw and I heard, don't know if it's real, he cashed in his 401k to do that.
Yeah, I think I do remember hearing him say that in the video.
If that's real, I feel so bad for this guy.
I mean, not really, because he did it out of his own free will.
I mean, yeah, but also, like, now he just has 500 copies of GTA 6 that are worth $0.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people are thinking, like, yeah, let me just resell a digital copy.
Yeah, also with that, I don't know if you wanted to touch on this, but I saw that there's like the deluxe edition or whatever.
Yeah.
That you can get like shipped to you, but it's literally just a box that comes with a digital code because they're not making physical discs, which is the dumbest shit ever.
Also, the thing about the deluxe is, so the base game, right? Kind of just like GTA 5, but like a little bit less because they hide all of pretty much everything behind a paywall. You have to get the ultimate edition of it or the deluxe, whichever one it is, to have all of these different things. Like some doors in the game just won't open if you don't have the deluxe edition. You can't get tattoos if you don't have the deluxe edition.
Why?
There are just certain things that you can't do if you don't buy like a $20 to $30 more version of the game.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
Like at this point, what is even the point of buying GTA 6? Because all you're going to be getting is something that's so bare bones unless you want to spend extra money, which I mean, like, sure, right?
Yeah, but it's already like $100.
Yeah, they spent like years on this, sure. But at the same time, this thing has been delayed over and over and over again just to be locked behind a paywall.
Yeah, because wasn't it supposed to technically come out in like 2024?
Yeah. And they held it off until now. And it just kind of feels like a slap in the face for some of these people because it's like, it compared to GTA 5, right? A game that a lot of people liked. And even like 4.
Yeah, maybe a hot take. I hate GTA.
I never played it myself. I watched people play it sometimes.
I tried to play GTA 5 and I just got so fucking bored.
I think it's just not worth what it is. I think
got
they
it for
should
free
stopped.
though, so
I think they should have stopped at 5. I don't think 6 was really necessary because 6 you're just going to be doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And everyone was hyping it up just for it to be this, you know? And it's just everyone I've talked to was excited about GTA 6 is just so frustrated with it. Mm-hmm. Like Rockstar Games, I think should really be touching on this and fixing it.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, so next part that I wanted to talk about, apparently a bunch of new information and stuff about Avengers Doomsday recently came out this past week.
Yeah.
First major thing that I saw, apparently the main characters of the movie are going to be Thor and Steve Rogers.
That's kind of cool.
I don't think so. Because it's like, why are you bringing back Steve Rogers when you have another Captain America right there that gets hated on because it's a black man?
Yeah.
Because, like, it's Sam Wilson. No one wants to fucking see him because he's a black guy playing Captain America. They made a shit movie. I say shit, but, like, I did kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
But, like, the overall audience, general audience did not like his movie. And it was more of a Hulk movie than anything.
Yeah. I think the only reason I can really see why they would put the two together is just because Steve Rogers has held Mjolnir.
Well, but I do understand that, and because it's like the original MCU trilogy or Trinity was Steve, Iron Man, and Thor, and then you've got RDJ coming back as Doom. So like I feel like it does kind of make sense there.
But even then, at the same time,
it's just like stupid. Yeah, it's for nostalgia. It's nostalgia bait. It's dumb. I don't like it. Second thing, Reed Richards, as in Pedro Pascal Reed Richards, has history with RDJ's Doom, which I think makes perfect sense, considering that he supposedly would be from the Fantastic Four First Steps universe.
And I mean, in the other Fantastic Four movies,
Yeah,
one of the
Reed
person
and Doom
Doom
always
is
have
yeah.
history, so I think it makes perfect sense. I'm happy about that part.
It definitely does make it easier to understand, ties it in better.
Yeah. I know you haven't seen Thunderbolts, correct?
No, I have not.
But so in Thunderbolts, you have Yelena. I don't know if you
I think
remember.
I heard some of the casting. I think I remember her name.
Yelena is Black Widow's sister,
Okay.
and she's like the new Black Widow. And then there's Bob, aka Sentry.
I do remember that.
So they have kind of like a close knit like friendship relationship thing in Thunderbolts. Supposedly, their relationship is gonna have some tension in Doomsday for some reason.
Okay.
It is like it's supposed to be like a 14-month time jump, I think, between Thunderbolts and Doomsday. So like I guess a year and a bit. They have some tension in their like friendship together. But they both are still like very much care about each other. And like one of the things that I saw word for word said that Bob would do anything or kill anyone for her to save her.
That definitely sets up something.
So I think that's kind of like a whole thing because I guess the whole thing is that she's the only one that can get him to turn into Sentry because it's like a different personality for him.
Yeah.
So I feel like that could be kind of interesting. I don't understand why they need to make their tension there for any reason.
Might feel like they're dragging it a bit in the movie.
If the two of them end up in a relationship, it would kind of piss me off because in the comics, Yelena is Ace.
Yeah.
And so I'm like making her straight for no reason kind of feels stupid.
Yeah.
So if it's like a romantic relationship between them, I'll be pissed off to be honest. But
I can understand it where they're coming from though. Like
yeah,
I don't think it's right, but I know that from a movie standpoint to make money, yeah, they would do that.
Yeah. Also, again, to do a Spider-Man, Tom Holland will not be in Doomsday supposedly. Okay. Again, you know, I feel like that doesn't really
I don't know
hurt
why
anything
why
that
would
much.
he be in there?
It's
a pretty much Fantastic Four based
Well,
movie.
no,
Well,
it's
and then
not.
I mean, yeah, there's Thor. Oh wait, no, it's Avengers.
Yeah,
that's right.
are you
that's right.
fucking brother?
Sorry, I'm trying to correlate Doom.
Yeah, but so like apparently with Brand New Day, it's very standalone, doesn't tie to Doomsday or anything like that heavily or anything like that. So like it does make sense. You know, I'm not super mad that we won't see him in there because he is going to be in Secret Wars. Like there's no way. I don't think they've fully confirmed anyone for Secret Wars yet, but there's no way that he's not in there. But then to go along with Spider-Man, supposedly Tobey Maguire is going to be in the movie as Spider-Man. No, in Doomsday.
Doomsday. What?
And he is going to supposedly have the Iron Spider suit from the comics, which is like the red and gold.
Yeah. Why would he be there?
Don't know why. I'm honestly like I don't really care too much.
I honestly don't know how to feel about that.
Like I don't particularly like that he would be there because it doesn't really make sense, but like also it kind of does, I guess, because they have like the old X-Men showing up.
It's just nostalgia.
Yeah, which I mean that's kind of what this movie is.
I mean, I guess, but I hope it's not literally just like a money grab, but
it very much so is.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's not shit. That's yeah. Also apparently something that I'm happy about, Doom is supposed to have like a posse of like witches and other magic users
that's cool
that work with him, which makes sense, and I'm happy about that. I feel like that's cool because you know, that could mean like we have a Doctor Strange variant with him, maybe like an Agatha variant or like a Wanda variant, or just like other random like magic people, which would be really cool. And then also, I don't know, did you see Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, I've seen it multiple times. So
you know how they have the Illuminati?
Yes.
Supposedly another version of the Illuminati gets formed, I'm assuming for the main MCU. In this movie, it didn't say any details on who would be in it.
Do you think that sets up for another Doctor Strange movie?
Well, they're doing a third Doctor Strange at some point.
Okay, I didn't know that, but
But I honestly, what I was thinking even before they announced Doomsday and stuff was that they were already going to have the Illuminati be formed, and that it was going to be just like they were introducing it,
yeah,
and the idea of it in Multiverse of Madness, and then they were going to actually have it in the next like Avengers movie. Because at the time that I thought about this, it was when it was still Kang Dynasty was going to be the next one. So like, I'm not super surprised at it, but I'm also kind of like wondering why they wouldn't have already just had it formed,
it
and
would
then
have
they
made
could
sense
kind of
too.
play into that.
But I guess if it happened off screen, it wouldn't have felt, I guess, as present.
I mean, I guess, but like the other thing that I was thinking was, I don't know, did you watch Shang-Chi?
Yes.
So you know at the end when it's like him going and he's talking to like Wong and Bruce and
Yeah.
Captain Marvel. To me, that was like, oh, this is the Illuminati. Because like it made sense. Because Captain Marvel, and then we had Captain Carter.
Yeah.
And then there was Professor X. There was the Sorcerer Supreme. And like I was like, okay, they hit all the boxes with this. They have smartest man alive, which would make sense for it to be Banner in the MCU.
Yes.
Because Tony's dead. Reed doesn't exist technically in that universe. And then I was like, they had Black Bolt. And I was like, Shang-Chi kind of resembles Black Bolt, I guess, in the like scheme of characters.
Supposedly, yeah.
And then Wong is obviously Sorcerer Supreme, Captain Marvel, stuff like that. I was like, it makes sense for this to be the group starting out, and then maybe they add on, other members later on.
Yeah.
So kind of just like, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, it is unfortunate, but it definitely is a money grab.
Yeah.
I personally wish it wasn't, but it is what it is. I thought we were going back and forth, so I did not say my other two things, so I got two more, right? It's been out for stuff has been out for like a month now, but God of War, the new game.
I did hear a little bit about that.
Okay, so I like God of War a lot. I like the original trilogy, and I like Ragnarok a lot. I think that the remake of the original was, it was good. I think Ragnarok was better. This game, it has a lot of controversy, right?
Isn't it it's the one that's the female led one, right?
I think it's Faye. Or Freya. I don't remember her name. But a lot of the controversy in this is because you're playing as a woman.
Yeah.
And then you have Jack Quaid playing as a cube, but Francois.
That's where that's from? I've seen that clip all over the place. Dude, that's goated. I don't care. This game's
I think that the game is going
already
to be very good. The combat looks very fluid, looks very nice.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to know how you feel about that. It's just the controversy on it is quite literally just because you're playing as a woman.
Yeah. I don't care.
Exactly.
I never played any of the like God of War games just cuz like I never had a PlayStation.
Yeah.
I think they were only PlayStation.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're on Steam and stuff now cuz some games are.
They might be, but I have the discs.
But like I've never played it cuz I never owned a PlayStation. I've seen clips, I've watched people play it, and like it seems interesting. But I'm also just not really a huge story game person either.
See, I'm the opposite. I love story games. That's why I like it.
To be honest, unless you count Lego games as story games, like I would say the first like story game I ever played was the Spider-Man games.
Lego games I feel like are more just like fast-paced progression.
Yeah, but I loved the first Spider-Man game, the PS4 game. I loved the Miles Morales game, and I loved Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
But like those were like the first like story games I ever really played. and like that the oldest one is not even like a decade old.
Yeah. Okay. Last thing, right? Before we get to our next segment.
Yeah.
It's been out for a while. It's Nintendo, right? This is a new like remake of the I think original Star Fox, right? I don't know if you've played it.
No.
I've watched people play it before. I touched it like a little bit, not like that much, but um they came out with well, they've been coming out with like directs and trailers and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And this game, it looks okay, right? But I need to show you a picture of one of the main characters. So not Fox himself, but his companion, right? That's Falco.
Yeah.
That shit's fucking ass.
I mean, I never played those games, so like I didn't really
Let me pull up a
notice
picture of
anything.
the original Falco. Because so the main thing that people are saying with this, for a while, this thing was getting memed on like all the time, just because of how awful the characters looked. I think people were hoping
Just
for
like the
something
graphics or
like the graphics are good, but they're just too realistic almost.
okay.
Because this is what Falco is supposed to look like.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like I remember like playing Smash.
Yeah, that's Falco.
Yeah.
And people are like dogging on it because it's like
Because it looks too realistic.
it doesn't. It's
instead of,
not
like,
Star Fox. It like I mean it is, but it doesn't feel like
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So it's just like I don't know. It's just I feel like gaming is kind of people are just being too critical of it right now.
True.
No, like it doesn't really matter what the game is. You just have like a general population of people dogging on anything they see. They want a perfect game, but they're not willing to try anything.
Yeah.
And it's just stupid to me. But we will end that spiel, and you want to go on to
Yeah.
our agree and disagrees?
Yeah. Moving on to agree, disagree. I don't remember. Did you start last time or did I start last time?
I think you started last time.
Okay, so you'll start this time.
Mine
Oh,
are
fuck.
based off of the stuff that I just talked about, right?
Okay.
So, GTA 6, right? With what I said about it, do you think that it is worthwhile? Like, worth the price that it is?
Like agree, disagree.
Yes. Do you
Is
agree
it
that
worth the
it should
price?
be the price it is?
Easiest answer
Easy.
right here.
Like, it should be real easy for you.
Yeah, easiest answer.
3, 2, 1.
Fully disagree.
Fully disagree.
Fully disagree.
I think this game shouldn't even be worth $30.
It shouldn't. Honestly, it shouldn't even exist. Again, I'm not a
True.
fan of GTA 5. I didn't fucking like it. I don't care if that's a hot take. Fucking like,
I really
come
think
at me. Who cares?
I think they should have
It's-
stopped while they were doing good. People love
I
GTA
mean, it was
5.
a very high sold game. People were excited for GTA 6, but like at the end of the day, it's still like
It's
who
better to cut
cares?
your like losses of making a whole nother game.
Because don't they also have GTA Online that's like different? And
Yeah.
it's literally just like
and people play that all
yeah.
the time.
Just pull all your effort into that.
But and like you're getting the same city. It's similar to like the FIFA games and Madden and NBA 2K. Like all these games are just getting remakes every
Yeah,
year,
they're-
and it's
yeah.
the same game,
Yeah.
same graphics, same everything.
Instead of like just fixing the issues.
Exactly. It's like
Yeah.
these games are just so bad.
Yeah.
All right, your turn.
Okay. First one I got here. If Avengers Doomsday ends up being a like mid or bad movie, the MCU is not going to recover and it'll like die essentially.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Disagree.
I'm going to say maybe.
So with everything else coming up, so we have Brand New Day, Secret
Yeah.
Wars, like the stuff that's lined up in the future. Even if, let's say, this movie doesn't do well and it doesn't make a lot of sales, which I really heavily doubt.
Well,
that it won't.
that's not what I mean.
Oh, you mean just like popularity wise?
The public reception of the movie is bad.
I don't think so because after Doomsday, like other than Doomsday, it separates into other things. Like Spider-Man is a whole different thing. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
it's
I
part of the
agree.
MCU,
Yes.
but people like you can associate them, but they're not like fully integrated. So I feel like
Well, they are, but like I know what you mean.
yeah. It might take a hit, right? It might take a pretty heavy hit,
Yeah. Well,
but I don't think
so
it'll die.
that's why I say maybe is I don't think it'll quite die, but I definitely think that if Doomsday sucks
It could
and
be
like
like
the general public has the consensus that it's a bad movie, it'll harm Marvel to a like point where it might not be able to fully recover. Because you also have to keep in mind, like last year specifically, there were 3 MCU movies that came out. The only one of them that broke even was Fantastic Four.
yeah.
The year before that, we had Deadpool and Wolverine. Very, very successful movie. But when you take that, which had probably a 300-ish million, 200 something million dollar budget, made 1 point something billion, versus then 3 more movies that were around like a 2-ish $100 million budget, that only one of them broke even.
Like that's not
Like it's not very great, especially because then you have like a movie like The Marvels that
Yeah.
was is known as one of the biggest like superhero movie box office flops. And then you have like Doctor Strange before that did really well but was received poorly publicly, and because of that future movies took a hit. People are always constantly saying, "Oh, Endgame was the last time the MCU was good." Like with Deadpool and Wolverine, people were saying the MCU is back. People were saying that with Fantastic Four, things like that.
I just think that people are too easily swayed. I think that it definitely
Yeah, I do agree. And I think that's the reason why Marvel could take a big hit if Doomsday isn't good. Because if you have people, that are like influencers and everything going online and being like, yeah,
this
I don't
movie
think
is
this
just
movie was
bad.
good.
Yeah.
It was bad. They massacred these characters, etc. There's going to be people that are like, oh, well, I don't want to go see this.
I think though
And
that like with Secret Wars coming up, if they do it right, it could definitely bring it
yeah,
back.
that's another reason why I say a maybe, is because I think even if Doomsday is bad, if Secret Wars is like fucking insanely good, they'll be fine.
I just
Because I think it's in the same way that like I feel like overall, even though Infinity War is the better movie, it is the lower received publicly movie
yeah.
of Infinity War and Endgame. And Endgame definitely has flaws, but it's still a very highly praised public movie, or highly publicly praised movie.
Yeah. I think that I honestly can't say whether or not the reception of the movie for Doomsday will be bad. Just because yes, it is a nostalgia bait kinda. Not kinda, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And but even so, people love that shit.
Yeah, that's true.
But
That's
then it's also, well, if people look into it more and realize that they're just kind of getting used for their money, then it kind of takes a hit.
yeah.
So it can go both ways with it, and I hope it does go well.
Yeah. Well, if they
you know-
overly do the nostalgia to the point where it lacks story and lacks substance, I think audiences will not like it.
Yeah, if they did it like how they did in No Way Home, where
Yeah,
it's
like No Way Home, they did great. Deadpool and Wolverine was great, even
Yeah.
though it had a lot of nostalgia bait with, Hugh Jackman coming back, having Wesley Snipes come back as Blade, having, Jennifer Garner come back as Elektra.
yeah. So I mean, they definitely proved that they can do it right. It's just a matter of if they
The
will.
only issue that I see is that it's such a massive movie with such a massive cast that they could fuck it up super easily.
Yeah,
And then there was also all those rumors, I don't know if you had heard them,
not
that there
really.
was like fights on set
That's
for
not good.
Doomsday and stuff, and that there was issues with certain people, and they had to like bring people off the set because they couldn't work with each other, and then they had to just film their scenes separately and kind of like CGI splice everything together,
Yeah.
which is not good whatsoever. But I don't know if that was true or not, but still,
I mean, I get not wanting to work with people, but at that point, you gotta suck it up.
yeah.
Like you chose.
You're making probably millions
Like
off of
you
this.
kind of
Like,
gotta like suck it up, man. But yeah, I hope it does well, but I guess we'll see.
yeah.
All right. So going based off of the God of War, right? The new game.
Ooh.
Would you say that having a female main character automatically makes a game less worthwhile than having a male character, like main character?
Okay.
Like automatically, hands down, makes a game worse if there's
Yeah.
a female main character.
Right.
I feel like this one's pretty easy
Yeah.
too.
3, 2, 1. Fully disagree with that.
100%. I mean, okay.
Most games that people enjoy more, like The Last of Us, that's female led. That's a great story. I haven't played those games either, but like I've seen people play it. I want to play them. I have them to play.
I just think that like there's too much of a stigma behind.
There's too much sexism in gaming.
100%. Like having a like the way they built up God of War is just like it's Kratos, right? This man who went through, you know, fucking hell and back. Not actually, but like just had all this shit happen to him, and he's this strong, very not very like talkative, very solemn.
Yeah, like very stoic.
Yeah, like, and he's big and strong and just fucking like massacres everybody.
Yeah.
And then you have the new game, and everyone's like, "Well, this isn't God of War anymore."
I mean, it's the same thing that
still
people
is.
did with the Ghost of Tsushima games, right, or whatever.
I don't know that I've seen that, but
because like the first one, or like Ghost of Yotai, whatever the fuck it was, I don't remember. Like the first game, it was like a male samurai. The second game was a female samurai, and people like shit on it.
Yeah, I don't understand it because, and even a lot of time, like having a female main character, a lot of the time makes it better. In all honesty,
like I think if you did The Last of Us, but it was Joel was the main character, it would definitely be way fucking lamer.
Or take what is it? Horizon. Like having Aloy as a main character.
I've never played those games, but
I just felt like that game was so much better than having just like some barbaric guy, right?
Yeah.
It was this like kind of like scavenger person be a like hunter who was raised by this like really great hunter. And it's just like a incredibly fun game, incredibly like well-made story for both games, Forbidden West and Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
I just enjoy those games so much, and I think that they deserve a lot more hype than they got.
Yeah. Well, my second one, another Marvel related one. So if Marvel had the full rights to Spider-Man specifically, the MCU would be at like an absolute peak, because like them not having Spider-Man's full rights hinders the MCU significantly.
Like how it's split with Sony as well and stuff. Okay.
Like they can't do stuff with Spider-Man in projects unless Sony approves it.
Okay. So you think it would make the MCU so much better?
Yeah. Like the MCU would be able to be at its absolute peak. It would be the best it would ever be if Spider-Man, like if the full rights for Spider-Man were given to Marvel Studios.
Okay. 3? You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Fully agree.
I would disagree with this one.
Fully agree.
I would disagree with this one.
Why?
So my way of thinking is I'm thinking about Spider-Verse, right? How Sony made that. I don't necessarily think that the MCU themselves would make Spider-Verse movies. But it's not even just that.
Well, but you don't need that. That's the thing, though.
It's not even just that, though. It's having... I think that if the MCU or Marvel had complete rights to Spider-Man, they might tend to flood the MCU too much with Spider-Man. Like, don't get me wrong, Spider-Man is a great superhero. I like him a lot. But if you overutilize a character too much, then it just becomes the same old story, you know? And even in Spider-Verse, like, they do it well with having all the different variants, but it doesn't feel like too much. But I feel like if Marvel got their hands on all the rights, they would just keep on like releasing Spider-Man movie after Spider-Man movie without like really giving it a second thought. I feel like it would oversaturate it.
Yeah. Well, from my point where I'm thinking about it, like imagine Daredevil Born Again, but then you have Spider-Man show up because you can now. Like that would make everything be able to tie together so much easier and so much better. And that's like one of the things that I think DC has the leg up on Marvel is they're able to tie their stuff together way better
I
than
can
Marvel.
see that.
And so I think if Marvel just had the full rights to everything and they were able to be like to do the stuff they want to do with Spider-Man, like we wouldn't be getting, Spider-Man Homecoming being, him being Iron Boy Jr. and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Far From Home being very focused on Nick Fury, trying to get him to do stuff for him. And then having No Way Home still even being focused on having Doctor Strange stuff. Like we would have a proper full Spider-Man story. Because even though at the end of the day, Brand New Day is closer to that, you
It's
still have
not
Hulk.
fully. Yeah.
And like that's apparently one of the main things in like Sony's contract is that there has to be another main MCU character
It cannot just be
in the
Spider-Man.
movie, which I think hinders Spider-Man so heavily because you don't need Hulk to be in Brand New Day.
I can see that. I can understand where you're coming from
Yeah.
with that. I would still
I do
disagree.
agree if they did oversaturate with Spider-Man, it would be an issue. But I also do have to say, I don't think, for one, Tom Holland would let that happen. And for two, that the fans would let that happen.
True.
Because as soon as it starts getting over the top, they would call it out. And Marvel would have to, like, stop putting Spider-Man in everything.
Yeah.
If they wanted to keep existing.
True. So for my third one, right? This one just kind of, like, covers gaming as a whole. A game having more realistic graphics
Oh my gosh.
makes it better. Like, a game's quality scales with how, like, realistic the graphics are.
Okay. I think I have an answer.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
I would say disagree.
I would disagree with this. But why,
Yeah.
why would you?
Like, I feel like, yes, you need good quality in a game for it to be, like a game worth playing. But there's also certain games where, like, you don't need that. Like Pokemon, for example, right?
Yeah.
Like, Red and, like...
If they were
Red
still
and
making
Blue.
pixel games,
Yeah,
I would
like,
still
they would
love
still
it.
be good. But then, like, you have something like Fortnite. If Fortnite is all pixelated, obviously you're not going to want to play it. So it depends on the game. But I also think, you have to think about it in the way that it's different types of games. Because, like, a story game, you would obviously want more, like, better, higher quality graphics. Like, if I'm playing a Spider-Man game, like, if they do a Spider-Man 3, like, I don't want it to be shit graphics.
Yeah.
Even if it's a incredible story, it still wouldn't be a game worth playing.
Because story games are supposed to be immersive.
Yeah, but then if you're going and you're putting me into, like, Stardew Valley, like, I don't need it to be fucking ultra realistic, hyper realism graphics and everything. Like, the pixels are fine.
I think that a lot of people believe that, like, having ultra realistic graphics
Automatically makes it better.
Yeah, which it doesn't. Like, you have stuff like Hollow Knight, right? Hollow Knight is a very beloved Metroidvania. But if this thing was, like, 3D and it had, like, great rendering and all this, it wouldn't be the same. Because it's not supposed to be. That's what makes some games good, is the fact that it has that kind of vintage look to it.
Yeah.
Which I wish that more people would understand that. Anyways.
Well, for my last one, DC has better overall, like, stories, whether it's comic line, etc., right? They have better stories than Marvel does.
This one's going to be kind of hard for me because I'm not too much of a comic reader, but I'll go with based off of what I do know.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Agree. I agree.
I also agree.
I didn't see it.
Oh,
so,
sorry.
no.
I agreed.
Yeah.
So based off of what I have seen comic wise, the MCU, it does feel like, yeah, there's some variety in the comics, but a lot of it also does feel like just throwing the same stuff over and over again, just with like a
Like
little
new
cinch. Yeah.
versions or different characters.
Whereas with like DC you have like the Mobius chair. Like,
Yeah.
and you have
I
like
mean, you've got the new Absolute
exactly.
stuff,
Like
and
you have all
yeah.
these, and yeah, they're the same characters, same with Marvel, right? But
Yeah, but
it's a
they've
different story,
like
different
essentially
background.
swapped their roles.
It's like people making a bunch of fan alternate universes.
Yeah, but it's all official, which
Well,
is
yeah,
like
which makes
crazy.
it better. So that's why I would agree with DC being on top compared to that.
Yeah.
I still think both are great, but DC does kind of have an upper hand.
Yeah. I just think also like again, Spider-Man is my favorite character of all time, my favorite superhero. I love the Spider-Man comics, but I just think the way that DC does all of their stories is just so exponentially better than Marvel's. Whether it's, like there are some Spider-Man ones, like Superior Spider-Man is one of my favorite comic lines ever. But then like I've also started reading the new Absolute stuff and I love that. I probably wouldn't take it over Superior Spider-Man, but like I would take, if you take that and you look at like Batman Year One, All-Star Superman.
Even just looking at the different like Robins over time, like even that
Yeah,
has
the
more
fact that there's
diversity.
different, yeah, and like all the different things they do with each of them, turning one into Nightwing, into Red Hood, into, Batgirl in certain instances and stuff. Like there's just so much more depth, I feel like, with DC than with Marvel.
I agree.
But now moving out of agree disagree, we're gonna talk Clayface, because there was either some new like early screenings, test screenings, something along those lines. From this one source, they said the movie is very good. They very much so enjoyed it, which is a good thing, especially considering like the way critics and a lot of general audiences receive Supergirl.
Honestly, I don't even listen to critics anymore.
Which, I mean, yeah, they're not right, obviously, but like considering that and saying that this movie's good, I'm fairly excited to see it and everything still. Apparently it is relatively funny, which I think is kind of interesting since it's like a body horror.
It would definitely feel more like on your edge,
Yeah.
on the edge,
Yeah. They also said it is very gory and that it is very much so like rated R. And there's also some like slight nudity possibly.
I mean, if it's rated R, that's kind of expected. But the gore, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, one of the things they said specifically about a scene is, I don't know, have you seen the trailer for Clayface?
I have not.
So there's a bit in the trailer where he's like in this mirror and his eye, there's kind of like a gash like in the middle of it and it's like drooping down and stuff. Apparently in that sequence, I think it's supposed to be that sequence, he's on an airplane and his eyelid starts like drooping down because of the like stuff with the Clayface whatever.
Yeah.
And so he goes to cut his eyelid and he accidentally cuts his eye because he's in a plane and it's like turbulence happens, which is like fucking insane. So he like cuts his own eye on accident. But the other major thing, apparently there is no major cameos and there's no Batman, which
you would think there would be.
Well, see, I feel like it's either they're not showing it yet because it's going to be something major and it'll break onto the internet and stuff. Because if that broke on, if Batman was going to fucking show up, that would definitely have been out there already. Supposedly, they also just cast the person who's going to be playing Batman. Like that was literally like yesterday at the time of us recording. I'm not going to say who it was because I can't remember, first off. And also, if it's wrong, I don't want to, put something out there. But I would be honestly very surprised if Batman doesn't make an appearance or if like Nightwing doesn't make an appearance, because I think we talked about it either last episode or the episode before.
To be Nightwing, right?
Yeah, I think we were talking about it last episode, maybe.
Yeah.
How on like HBO, there's like the Nightwing profile under with all the other DCU related stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nightwing showed up, but apparently there's no cameos. So I don't know. Again, they could just be hiding it from test screenings because they already know it's going to be received very well by people. Um, and then moving into the next thing, um, the Daredevil Born Again season 3 suit just got revealed online
Okay.
the other day. Have you seen it yet?
I've not.
Okay, here, let me pull it up real quick. Let's see if it lets an image pop up. Here we go. So that's what it's supposed to look like.
Damn.
It looks really fucking good.
Yeah, I know that's wow.
Yeah, like I really love it. I love the red, the thick red for the D's on the chest, the red outlines on the helmet and stuff. I love the red down the sides. So very excited to see that. Also Elektra is supposed to be back,
That's gonna be interesting.
which I don't know if you watched the Netflix show, because
I
from
don't
what
think so.
I remember, it's been a while, but she dies in the Netflix show. She's being brought back, which makes sense because the hand is showing up in Spider-Man. That's a whole comic line.
And then the Wolverine
is
game.
Huh?
The Wolverine game. I know it doesn't correlate technically, but like they're doing more with the hand.
Yeah, but so since the hand is showing up in Brand New Day, there's like a whole storyline where the hand like brings Elektra back to life and stuff, and there's like all that shit. So I'm assuming that's kind of the route they're going. So that's pretty exciting because apparently that season's supposed to come out next year too. Then,
Okay.
because they're supposed to be doing a season every year. Obviously, season 2 came out earlier this year, so I would assume season 3 is coming out probably like mid next year. Maybe late next year since they're still like in the middle of filming.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else you wanted to touch on?
No, I think that was it.
Okay. So then I have one more thing. I didn't want to like keep taking up the space.
No, I got what I needed to get across.
But so there was some other new like MCU Marvel news that I saw. Apparently at like San Diego Comic-Con and things like that, they might be announcing upcoming movies, like new things.
Okay.
That maybe haven't gotten official release dates or that we didn't even know that they were working on, like just announcing new stuff this year. They're apparently working on a Thunderbolts sequel, which I also did recently see. The Russo brothers are signed on to work on another Avengers movie aside from Doomsday and Secret Wars, which, to be honest, pisses me the fuck off because I made a video on my personal channel like a couple weeks ago about how one of the main things I do not want to see is more Avengers movies being the forefront of the MCU because no one really gives a shit about the Avengers.
After Endgame, that was kind of
Because
it.
they don't even really fucking exist right now. I
Yeah.
think it's stupid that Doomsday is called Avengers Doomsday. I think it's stupid Secret Wars is called Avengers Secret Wars. And if they're doing another Avengers movie, I would have to assume, since they have the Russo brothers doing it, that it's going to be a big project, which I think is stupid. But apparently, also the new Thunderbolt sequel could be this Avengers movie that they're attached to.
But I genuinely thought that after Endgame, it was supposed to kind of splice into more individual and other stories.
It should. And I think if they're going to do big event films, it should either be just a single title and no like teams in it,
Yeah.
or it should be X-Men focused, because that's what this next saga should be, is focused on X-Men and mutants and all that stuff. Apparently they are also started working on a 5th Spider-Man for Tom Holland, which is great because that means he's supposed to be getting another trilogy.
Okay.
And he has said numerous times he wants to introduce Miles and do like that whole storyline where him as Peter Parker like trains and mentors Miles, which I think would be great to see in live action. And then also, I don't know if you knew this, they're working on a 3rd Black Panther movie.
Did not.
According to Ryan Coogler, he wants it to include more mutant and supernatural related stuff, especially in relation to the like spiritual realm thing. I forget what it's called. The like spiritual land.
It would be cooler to see
The
that.
something
Yeah.
plane.
Yeah.
I genuinely forgot what it was called. But yeah, kind of like tying all of that stuff together, which I think would be really cool and I think makes a lot of sense for Wakanda in general. Also, it is supposed to be a coming of age story for the T'Challa, his son,
Yeah.
that was shown at the end of Wakanda Forever. Apparently, initially it wasn't going to be, and then they decided to kind of shift it to be focused as a coming of age story for him and having it be like him taking over the mantle for Black Panther eventually, which I think could be done very well. Also, one thing that I think you would be very excited about, apparently in an upcoming Daredevil project, Moon Knight could be making an appearance.
That's peak.
So
That's
it'll be
peak.
the first time since the show that we would be seeing Moon Knight. It didn't say that it was going to be in season 3 of Born Again. It just said it in an upcoming Daredevil project. So whether that means that there's going to be like a special or another season after 3 that's going to have Moon Knight in it, or if it's going to be in season 3, who knows?
I'm just still upset that there's not a third season of Moon Knight.
You mean a second?
Yep. I keep on forgetting that it wasn't split into 2 seasons. I swear on everything it was, but it's not.
No,
It's not.
It's Loki that was split.
Yeah. I'm just upset that they didn't touch more on it. I really do wish that there was more.
Yeah, no, I do agree. But then also apparently there are 2 movies that are currently on hold at Marvel Studios. One of them being the sequel to Fantastic Four, which again pisses me the fuck off.
Why would that be on hold?
Because again, like, why are we getting a 5th Spider-Man movie already? Why are we potentially getting a new Avengers movie written or directed or whatever by the Russos? Like, why are we getting that shit? But then Fantastic Four, who should be a forefront of this upcoming saga of mutants and mutate and everything.
Yeah.
Which I think is why it's a good thing that we see Spider-Man having more of a forefront, because that's like a huge thing in the comics for Spider-Man, is the difference of, is he a mutate or a mutant?
Yeah.
Because
he wasn't born with the powers.
Yeah, that's the thing. But people, like the public of Marvel in certain comics, like, think that he's a mutant. And so that's like a whole identity crisis type thing that he has. He also joins up with the Fantastic Four. So again, I think just tying all of that stuff together would be really fun. So I don't understand why they're not doing a sequel to Fantastic Four sooner, if they're doing another Avengers movie apparently. But fucking who knows?
Yeah, I think they're putting their efforts where they shouldn't be.
Yeah. And then also apparently on hold, slash like not a current priority for Marvel, is that 3rd Doctor Strange movie as well, which I also feel like is kind of stupid.
I can understand it though, because Multiverse of Madness definitely got some very mixed reviews.
Yeah, like critically it didn't do well, but box office wise it was like the biggest opening of a Marvel movie since Endgame.
And I still think they could do a lot with the 3rd movie.
Like, I think they made like $700 million on that movie, and it just didn't move past that after like the first couple weeks because of how bad it was, like, critically.
Yeah, which I still don't understand. Like,
yeah, it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't great either.
It wasn't like the best movie I've ever seen, but I love Doctor Strange.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd say that's pretty much all that I have to mention today.
This is probably the longest one that we'll have.
I think this is going to be the longest episode we have. But we do also have some stuff that we did cut out because of sound in the background. So
yeah,
it might not be as long as we think it is.
Actually, next time we'll have a bit more to talk about just because we didn't watch Avengers. Like we were going to. Not like a whole lot.
Well, next time we've got Avengers, I'm going to be seeing fucking Minions in a couple days.
Why?
For the money. Yeah, I'm gonna see that. X-Men 97 season 2's first couple episodes come out on Wednesday, the day that we're gonna be posting this podcast. So we probably won't talk about those quite yet. We'll wait until the whole season is done, which happens to be that it releases the last episode on the 31st of July, aka the official release date of Brand New Day.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have that episode where we talk a little bit about X-Men 97, but mainly about Brand New Day. Yeah, I don't think there's really much else this next week after that, because then the week after that is like Moana and everything. And
Yeah, but I mean,
we'll
we'll
talk
get to see your
about
box
that.
office from that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I would say this went pretty good.
Yeah. So next episode we'll talk Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron review. I'll review Minions, the Minions and Monsters movie. We might talk a little bit about X-Men 97 season 2 since it does release on the day we're posting this.
Yeah.
And then if anything else, behind the scenes for Marvel stuff or DC or whatever comes up, we'll probably mention that next week as well. But yeah, it's a pretty solid leaving off point here.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, appreciate everyone watching, and we'll see you next week.
So long.